Belgian authorities have arrested two men who are suspected of planning terrorist attacks on year-end celebrations in the country's capital. Joining us from Brussels is WSJ's European security reporter, Julian Barnes. Julian, great to see you. So these men were arrested on terrorism charges earlier. What do we know about their affiliation with Islamic State?
We don't know that much, but we do know that Islamic State propaganda was found in one of the houses that was connected to this investigation, one of the raids that the prosecutors and police did over the weekend. And we know that one of the two men is charged with trying to recruit into a terrorist organization. We don't know, though, if this is a ISIS-directed cell or merely an ISIS-inspired cell, and a lot more needs to be found out in the days to come.
And your report says that they were not, authorities did not find explosives, but they did find computer equipment, military gear, ISIS propaganda. Do you have any more details about what these men may have been planning?
Well, what authorities have said is that they believe that there was supposed to be an attack around the year-end celebrations, but directed specifically at police and military personnel. Now, police and military have become a much more common presence on Brussels streets. Since the Paris attacks, they've really ramped up their presence guarding shopping areas, government buildings, hotels. And so these were apparently the targets of this attack. But as you point out, no weapons found, no explosives found. So there are some real questions about how real was this plot.
Yeah, and at this point, Brussels is still planning to go ahead with its New Year's Eve celebrations. Does that suggest to you the threat has been eliminated, at least in this case?
Well, there's a lot of second-guessing in Brussels about authorities. There was a lot of criticism for the 4-day lockdown back in November that basically shut down the city for several days. And now some people are wondering, if you lock down the city for that, why not lock down the city for this? On the other hand, the lack of guns and explosives means some people feel that the celebration should go forward.
Right, and this investigation, I should point out, is not related to the Paris attacks, but European agencies are still searching for some of those men who were involved in that terror cell. They're still looking for a suspect at large. They are continuing to detain people. Has any progress been made in the sharing of information across the EU? Because that has been a big deal, and you've been writing a lot about that as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's been a real focus of the policy response to the Paris attacks and the questions about the Brussels investigation. Should countries do more to share? Now, there's been some pretty quick moves to share more counterterrorism data with the European Police Agency, Europol. But broader intelligence sharing still is caught up on national prerogatives. It's not an area where the European Union is directly involved, so it's harder to force cooperation there. There's a desire among many countries to do so, but we haven't seen a lot of progress so far.
All right, well, we'll keep following this story. Thank you for joining us, Julian.